trails. Today we're going to talk about what makes this Jeep special and helps us do our overlanding, and what gets us from A to B. Let's check it out. In the front of the Jeep, there's not too many things that are just, crazy fancy. It's a standard aftermarket bumper. I mean, get it on Amazon, nothing crazy fancy and expensive. Got some 2-ton shackles here to help in recovery. There will be, for future modifications, a winch going here, probably the Smittybilt 10,000 pound winch with synthetic rope that I'll wire in. This is my wife's Jeep. She loves it. Modifications that we did for her was blue halo lights and some LEDs. A few years ago we had a little bit of hail damage, so we decided to go with this custom aftermarket black mountain hood. Helps with ventilation here. As you can see, it has a really good ventilation process on both sides. Looks aggressive and nice. I had it custom painted to match the Jeep, and it's been a really good addition. We have the aftermarket clamps here, which really help with holding the hood down, and they look pretty nice. So underneath the Jeep, we did a 3-inch lift and then put it on some Toyo Open Country RT 35-inch tires with just some aftermarket rims. This gives us the ground clearance we need to do any kind of off-roading, no real rock climbing, just a good smooth ride, and be able to manage the trails pretty well. And we've been pretty happy with it. We do look to upgrade to kind of a higher capacity suspension, because right now we've put a lot of weight on it with the bumpers and the gear inside, so we got to do a little bit more work for maybe a medium duty style suspension. Up top, I wanted to point out right quick, we use the Tough Stuff Alpha 2 tent. It sleeps about 2 to 3 people, pops up in about 3 minutes max. We just got back from the Grand Tetons, so please excuse the mess of the Jeep. Through Colorado and the Grand Tetons, this thing got pretty dirty and a lot of good workout. But the Alpha tent pops up, does really good. Sleeps 2 to 3 people. It's built-in lights. I'll put a link in the description down below so you can go check it out on their website. Really great service, great people too. They've really helped us out a bunch and come through. One of the items on the trip that's really been beneficial to us to get up top and to deal with the roof rack and to help with the tent has been these steps that bolt directly into the door frame. You just easily loosen this bolt. Step folds down, holds a lot of weight because I'm getting a little chubby in my old age. But it's been really helpful. We've got them on all 4 doors. And here we have some aftermarket off-brand rock sliders. Got them off of Amazon. Nothing special, but do the trick. One of the main components that you see here is the Smittybilt rooftop rack. It goes all the way down, bolts to the frame on all 4 sides, and really it's what makes this rig possible to hold the rooftop tent and the rear storage system. Makes it really convenient and has held up really well through the mountains in Colorado and through the Grand Tetons. So one of our last ads, actually the night before we rolled out on our overlanding trip through the Colorado Rockies and the Grand Tetons, was this 8-foot awning on the side made by MaxiTrack. It was only $100 at Napa Auto Parts, so we went ahead and grabbed it, throwed it on there, and it's held up really well. We deployed it once or twice, and it's pretty solid made, pretty much made like all the others that I've seen. So we're going to keep running it and see how long it'll last. So when you look at overlanding, you got to look at water. Water supply is crucial to any survival process you're going to do. So what we've done is fit this Wavion jerry can in the very back here with a spout that you can open up and get water out of, or put a hose on. And we have a 5-gallon front runner jerry can up top sitting on a Smittybilt rack. That gives us the ability to use a quick connect hose and get water out of it for a shower, or if we need backup water supply, it's right there. So continuing around to the back side of the rig, what's really helped us be successful in overlanding is a little more space to store stuff. So that brings us to the rack that sits over the rear tire. Got this from Smittybilt, nice and easy to install. We installed a aftermarket custom tire carrier, and this just bolted right over the top of that. So it really helps out being able to put up a few more tubs. What we have here is a tub of just camp supplies, lights, toiletry supplies, and on top we have the portable toilet. essential to anyone overlanding. And on the very back we put a trash bag carrier. This is, you know, nothing really expensive. I think it was $54. It's the off-roading gear bag, which holds the bear box and any trash that we meet on the road. We always try to leave the location and the trail better than we found it, so this carries all the trash that we pick up along the way. Also on the back you might see a 6-foot awning. This allows us to cook in the rain and in the sunshine. This extends out 6 feet over the back of the Jeep whenever you open it up. It's been really handy. We were in Colorado and we're getting rained on a little bit when we were trying to cook dinner, so that came in super handy. We also have a sidewall that mounts to it and comes down on either side or in the back. That helps shield side rain and gives you a little more protection from the wind and the elements. This also came from Tough Stuff, really good value. One of the game changers really in building this rig out was the Smittybilt Xrc Bumper. Comes with shackle connections, built-in tow hitch, and kind of sticks out enough here to create kind of a platform you can stand on, you can put stuff on. It's been really helpful in cooking and getting on top of the rig. One of the really cool things about having the Smittybilt rack is you have different mounting points for different things. What we've done here is got a 5-pound propane gas tank holder and mounted it here, got a little bike lock on it so nobody messes with it. And what this has allowed us to do, which we'll go over shortly, is when you open up the back of the Jeep, you quickly tie in here to get your propane to cook on. Makes it easy to mount. It's very, very sturdy. Alrighty guys, for the inside of the Jeep, so right now it's pretty standard. We run the Garmin InReach Mini for our GPS, which run a Samsung 7-inch tablet to help see everything coming off the Garmin. And we exclusively right now use the Gaia GPS app. We're testing out a few others. So we run the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultras. The wife and I both do. This being her Jeep, everything has to be approved by her. The mount that we use in this is the bullet point. I looked at the 67D mount. Everybody loves it, but it is so expensive, and I just, at the time, the budget wasn't there for it. I will be looking at it in the future to upgrade. If you have any questions about any one of these devices, apps, any of the things that I use, just hit me in the comments and we'll chat about it, and I'll just give you my honest opinion of it. I am currently not sponsored by anyone or anything, so straight my experience and what the wife and I have tested in the field. Again, something small and simple. These wild boar handles that are bolted up to the top side of the Jeep have really come in handy in mounting a phone or mounting a GoPro. Just grabbing a hold of, trying to make our way down the trail. Really solid once you get them bolted in real tight. You know guys, I know this seems like a little small item, but trust me, floor mats are essential in the outdoors. Anything you're doing, mudding, rock crawling, any kind of overlanding adventure. Trust me, these Rugged Ridge mats have held up great. I've had them for years and years in my trucks and now in the Jeep, and the wife loves them. They've really worked out great. Dana enjoys the fact that they're deep grooved and they're cupped on the sides. That way there's no spillage out on the carpets. You just take them out, hose them off, put them back in. They've been really great. With everything connected to the Jeep battery, and I do not have a dual battery system in place right now, this particular battery booster product is really giving me a little bit of security. I like the fact that, you know, it's the high capacity GB70. Never had to use it yet, but we always want to keep it handy and just make sure that it's available. So what I did in the back of the Jeep is I created these little platforms that go to the side here that are kind of a part of the platform system that I designed and built. That's where the 500 watt Jackery sits right there. It's powered by the vehicle's rear auxiliary power cable, and then that powers the refrigerator, so the connection goes from the refrigerator to the Jackery to the car, so there's never really any power loss. Okay, so now we get into the belly of the beast. What really makes overlanding possible for us. Our keyword in the last couple of months in building out this rig has been game changer, because there's been so many things we've done that has really just changed the way we do our processes, how many days we can stay out on the trails, and how long of a quality trip we can take. So let's go through a few of these items right quick. Some of them you can easily buy, some of them I've custom made, and we'll see just what works for you. Again, if you have any comments or questions about the items or how I went about building them, I currently do not have any plans like for this box that I custom built with 3 drawer sliders, but I'm looking to get that built into plans so I can share them out for my Patreon subscribers. That way they can have a custom Jeep build if they want to. So a long time ago, I talked my wife into letting me add this tray to the Jeep. So this is a cheap one off of Amazon. It's nothing fancy. I think it was $50-something. Gives you a nice platform to put stuff on, you can cook on. Holds a lot of weight. I don't necessarily think I could sit on it, but it holds, you know, dozens of pounds. There's other models out there that have little slide out trays on the side, you know, here to, you know, provide you more room, but for our needs, this is working great right now. So one of the things I wanted to do on the road to make it really convenient was cleanup. Washing dishes and cleaning things are always a pain on the road. So I'm going to walk you through what Dan and I designed to make it a little convenient to be able to just have a little kitchen system directly built into the Jeep with minimal effort. Next, we're going to get out the kitchen sinks. Once the sinks are in place, then we hook up the water. So once the hose is attached, we loop it through here, creating a little faucet situation. It currently doesn't have any water in there because we've drained everything from the trip. But once you open up the valve up there, turn the ball valve, you have plenty of gravity-fed water in here. It actually feeds pretty fast. I wanted to have maximum capacity because Jeeps don't normally have a lot of storage, but they're really solid on the road and have a good amount of storage, so you kind of have to maximize what you're getting out of the back of the Jeep. So I built this platform here that goes all the way to the back of the seats, this full length here, and it sits approximately 7 inches high. So what that gives us the ability to do is with these tubs from Walmart that are 7 inches high, 7 inches high, 7.15 inches wide, and 26 inches deep. You can see they really just fit snug here. It was kind of a miracle, you know, one of those blessings that you get in design. But what this has allowed us to do is be able to have little slide out tubs. They fit snug so they can hang there. Makes it real convenient. Store all kinds of stuff. And here we have the stove, the kitchen with the fold out, you know, kitchen tubs, cutting board, any hoses that we may need. So it really comes in convenience. Be able to just shove it back up in there. On this side, this is where we have a tub that's a little bit heavy, but it has all the recovery gear, air compressor, tools, buddy rope, tow rope, gloves, shovel, spare parts, handsaw, anything I need as far as recovery or maintenance on the vehicle I can put in here, and really comes in handy. And again, I'm no rich guy, so everything you see here I've had to improvise, build, or just kind of engineer. So it's kind of hard to see, but right here I have the auxiliary power supply for the back. It connects to an auxiliary power supply down here on the Jeep. Kind of an inconvenient place to put a Jeep, people, but okay. And so what this does is gives me the capacity to connect 3 auxiliary power devices as well as USB devices, and it has on and off switches for each slot that you are powered, and it has a main off power button on the controller that plugs into the auxiliary power from the Jeep. This unit powers the Jackery, also powers all the lights for the for back here in the Jeep, so it really kind of is the central hub. I will be upgrading this later. This is just an Amazon cheap buy, but it's been really successful on this trip. It's kept the jack repowered. The jack repowers the refrigerator and has really given us the convenience of just push button power and lights. For this back Jeep cooking process and just management process, I've installed a light strip here that has a remote control, as well as I can power it from a button on the auxiliary power supply, and so makes it real convenient. It doesn't look very bright in the daylight, but at night this lights up this entire area right here and allows you to see everything in the back of the Jeep and for a couple of feet outside of the Jeep. Let's move on to some of the safety features that you have to build into any overlanding vehicle. It's really critical to be able to have nothing fancy, just a medical kit from Cabela's. I will be buying a trauma kit soon because, quite frankly, you never know what you're going to run into out in the middle of the woods or on a mountain. One of the things I didn't think about very much until I started watching a lot of YouTube videos on overlanding is fire suppression. Anytime you get on the trail, there's a fire, something happens with your stove, something happens in your Jeep or your engine bay or something like that that you're just not, expecting. So right here I have just a little fire extinguisher. I think I got it at Northern Tool or something like that. The real convenience to this though is the clamp that I got off of Amazon. You notice that we shop a lot of Amazon. It's got a quick release handle right here, and so when you lift this, it just slides right out, and this is just a bracket that holds it in place. Clips in here, bolts in there, and that just straps to the side pillar there in the Jeep itself. Real easy to install. I recommend it. And as always, we carry jumper cables. Kevin from Lifestyle Overlanding says this a lot, and it really resonates with me, is 2 is 1 and 1 is none when you're out on the trail. So redundant backup systems, anything that can always help support the process that you're trying to complete or not leave you, quite frankly, stranded is really recommended. Alright, now we're going to get to some of the big ticket items. One of the things that's really helped us out a bunch is not having to carry a cooler. When we and my wife and I down here say game changer, this is things like this is what we mean. This is the IceCo JP50. It's a 50-quart refrigerator that plugs into the jackery. I mentioned it before. But to get it in here on the platform, I had to do a little bit of custom work I want to walk through with you. I wanted a slider that comes out and tilts down, but those sliders are really expensive, and again, I'm not a rich guy, so I got a little creative and put it on hinges, and these hinges are mounted to this platform and the standard platform that I built for the back of the Jeep. And so what it does, and I'll demonstrate this for you, is gives the ability with the slider that I bought from IceCo, which fits the refrigerator really good. It gives you the ability to slide out and tilt down. It's held on by the backside by a rope, and then you can just lift it up, put your hands in here. The wife and I are both short, so this really helps out a bunch in being able to manage the process. Once you're done, you shut it, slide it back in. Gets a little heavy whenever it's full of food, but this particular sliding platform here has helped out tremendously. You don't have to stand on anything to get into it. As you can see, it's just a simple piece of 3/4 inch birch wood. The slider mounts to that, and then that bolts of the hinges to the platform, and it's just strapped to the device or a little loop behind the back seat. So it makes it real convenient to just get access to. You'll see this straps to the back side of the seat there, so it's all bolted in real strong. This strap right here holds in the plug. I did it that way to make sure that the plug would not come undone and the refrigerator would stay powered up. Okay guys, now to get to the part that I'm the most proud of and I spent the most time building, is this custom cabinet. It is a 3-drawer cabinet system, with the larger drawer being on the bottom, middle drawer being smaller, and the upper drawer being basically a utensil drawer. the reason why I built this was because I wanted to make sure that the wife and I had the most convenience out of what we were trying to do as a quick setup and a quick ability to get at gear. Again, to limit the amount of tubs, because Lord, tubs are just a pain in the rear to deal with most of the time. So we're going to go over this. A friend of mine, Chuck, that I met at the wood store where I got this really nice maple from, was kind enough to burn this in. If you want his information, if you want any wood burning by him, he's got his full wood shop at his house, and he will take orders and burn whatever you want to into wood. You can see the excellent quality of it. I can't say enough about Chuck. He's just a really nice guy to know, and I hope to use him in the future on other projects, because, you know, he was just a great guy and a very talented woodworker. Alrighty guys, let's get into what we store into this wood cabinet. Again, it does run the full length of the back of the Jeep. It sits at an angle against the back of the seats, so you maximize room for the bottom drawer and middle drawer. And again, my wife Dana did an excellent job of figuring out how to store everything, manage everything. This is her baby. I built it for our convenience, but she's really made it happen as far as maximizing the ability of this to help us on the road. And this is made out of, the outside is made out of 3/4 inch birch plywood. All the shelving inside is made out of 1/2 inch to save weight. This front panel here is maple. I wanted a nice kind of front section to look nice. Quality kind of a wood. This is a medium neutral stain. And again, Chuck did this burn on it with the Overland Trails logo. So in the bottom drawer here, you can see it comes out really far. What we've been able to do is be able to flatten out a few things here, but keep the collapsible bowls that we use for cooking, all of our utensil, as far as all of our dishes, jet boil for coffee, knife system by GSI, bowls, cups, extra fuel, cast iron. Middle drawer has basically been the food cabinet. So you can see we've got macaroni and cheese, spices, ranch style beans, which I love. We had some tortillas, make spaghetti, strainers, oatmeal. It's about anything on the road you might need. Now the top drawer, I don't know if you can see it all that well, but there's a shot here. Again, nice and deep. Keeps all of our forks and knives and spoons. Any utensils over here we may need. We actually, these little dividers, I got these are bamboo dividers from Bed Bath & Beyond. They worked great in this situation. Kept me from having to make, drawer dividers. One thing, it's something I'm going to cherish for quite a long time. Well, that wraps it up for this build walk around. If you have any questions about what we built, or the products that we've used to do this, or how they worked on the road in the field, just shoot me a message in the comments. If you have any recommendations, please throw them my way. This is all just me figuring out stuff and engineering stuff and watching a few people do things on YouTube. So anything I can improve or any ideas you have, please let me know. If you want to see more videos, please subscribe. Let me know what you like about this video. Hit the like button if you like it at all. And hope to see you on the trails.